Hello and welcome to a new video. In Java 9, Java came up with a feature in interfaces where we can have private methods inside an interface which will not be visible to the implementing class. These are some of the advantages of private methods in interfaces. So, private methods were introduced in Java 9 as part of the Java Platform Module System, also known as JPMS. So, it improves code organization. Private methods allow for better organization of code within interfaces. Basically, you can create as many private methods you want, having their own specific focused functionality. Then code reuse. So the same code which you have created can be used at multiple places inside the same interface. Enhanced encapsulation. Private method provide a way to encapsulate implementation details within the interface, basically hiding them from the outside world. Improved default method implementation. So private methods can be used to implement default methods in interfaces, allowing for more complex and usable default behavior. And reduced code complexity. So private methods can help reduce the complexity of interfaces by breaking down larger methods into smaller ones, which will be more manageable and you can understand stuff easily. Look how we can have private methods in an interface and maybe a use case of it. So here we will have a payment processor interface which will process a payment, and implementing classes like credit payment processor, digital payment processor, etc. can implement that interface. So for a payment processor, let's have a POJO called payment. Now payment can have maybe a amount, so let's create an amount and maybe a currency. So let's also create a currency. So these two things are necessary for a payment. So let's generate the getter setters for both of them, and maybe let's generate a constructor too. Now we have our POJO, and maybe let's have a toString and print something at the end. So let's have a toString. So now let's create our interface. You can call it as maybe payment processor. Now inside our interface, let's have a method the classical way, and maybe we will have a process payment, and this will take a payment. So this has to be implemented the regular way by any of the classes which implements a payment processor. In Java 8, something called default methods was introduced, so you can give an implementation inside the payment processor on an interface, and this will be visible to the implementing classes. So let's have something like maybe default void validate amount here. So we are going to validate the amount here which comes to us through the payment, and if an invalid amount is put, maybe we will throw an illegal argument exception or something. So let's have our payment dot get amount, and if it is less than or equal to 0, we can simply throw a new illegal argument exception saying that it's an invalid payment amount, and simply give the so this feature was added in Java 8. Next, we can also do something like, let's simply copy this and create one more method and say that it validates currency. And here also we can say invalid payment currency. Now here we are going to use our new private method. So let's say if is invalid currency and give it a payment dot get currency, and this will be our new private method. So let's use private inside our method for the first time. And maybe just use currency dot equals and check if it is a maybe a euro or a USD. So if it is both of this, we say it's a valid currency, else we say it's an invalid currency. So now if you see here, we have our original classical way of having a public signature method, and like this has to be implemented. Then we have our defaults. This was bought in Java 8 and this is the one which was bought in Java 9. Maybe we can also give an implementation and just run this one. So let's create a class called maybe a credit payment processor, and let's have this one implement payment processor. And we'll simply call validate amount here. We'll give the payment, and then we'll call validate currency here, giving it the payment again. And maybe we can simply have our sysout saying processing payment. Next, let's have our main class. So let's have our main app, and then inside here let's create a payment, and let's call it as a payment, and this will be a new payment. We need to give it a number, maybe something like 100. It's a decimal, so and maybe a USD. We have our payment here. Let's create our processor, and this will be a new credit card processor. Processor dot process payment. Now we can simply suppose remove this part here, and we get our processing payment. So that's how you can have private methods in your interface. Thanks for watching.